This could be interesting. So bear with me. I'm gonna do another tag, but wanted to give you a view until we get into this, so one sec. Okay, so I'm gonna do my best to keep this from shaking, but this is a book tag. I was tagged by Bob at Robert G. Reader Books. It's the If I Owned a Bookstore tag. It's an original tag from Bob, and he said, it's time to indulge in a bit of fantasy, to imagine owning your own bookstore and responding to the prompts below. Pretend money is not an issue, that you're independently wealthy. Aesthetics are the consideration, really your only criteria. And I'm paraphrasing Bob's statement, but I will put it in the description along with Bob's video. But there are 9 prompts, and then I'll tag others in the description, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. And so, number 1, what are the hours of operation? Well, I would probably, if I had my own bookstore, the hours of operation probably would be 7 days a week. I'd want to be in there quite a lot. And it would probably be later hours, trying to get people after work on weekends. And so it'd probably be, open till 8 or 9 o'clock, or, open at 10 or roughly, and then until probably 8 or 9, and then on the weekends too. After church, on Saturdays, long hours, that kind of thing. Number 2, is there ambient music, and what kind? Absolutely. Probably jazz and classical. Bob had some really great, Coltrane, Miles Davis, old school jazz music, and then classical like Bach, Beethoven, Vivaldi. Number 3, is there a coffee bar, or do you serve alcohol? There probably wouldn't be a coffee bar, although now that I think about it, probably there would be. Alcohol, maybe, as long as people would do so responsibly. But yeah, if it's going to keep people there talking books, talking shop, yeah, probably. Number 4, are patrons encouraged to linger? I think I answered that one. And are there comfortable chairs? What kind of lighting? What kind of talking areas or areas for gatherings would you have? Kind of tables would you have as well, was the question. There definitely would be areas for them to gather, talk, to have lectures, gatherings. I think lighting would be, probably a good thing. You would definitely want to be able to see the books. But yeah, I would probably spend some money on lighting. Lighting is always a big deal. But yeah, especially for reading. I want people to be in there reading as well. So there definitely would be comfortable chairs. That's one thing I don't like about the big box stores now. They're getting away from some of that. And people need to sit there and read books and check them out, and look into books instead of standing. Barnes & Noble, at least the Barnes & Noble in my area, is really missing out on that. And some of the used stores too, they just don't have a lot of area and space, because they're, it's one of the biggest expenses is the building that they're paying for rent or whatever. And it's hard for them to give up space that they're paying for in their rent for chairs and areas. So that would definitely be a consideration. Number 5, live entertainment for like poetry readings, author readings, lectures, or on literature. Absolutely. I think anything that's going to draw people in is going to be a good thing, especially if if I'm independent and wealthy, I'm not worried about my net income on this deal. It's probably more of just a passion thing. And so I'd want to be there. I'd want authors there. I'd want people to be in there for hours on end. So yeah. Number 6, where is your bookstore located? The heart of a city, in the neighborhood of a large city, strip mall, small town, rural area? Mine's probably gonna be rural, but probably in a nice geographical location to major cities where people don't have to drive too far. I wouldn't want something in a large city where the rent's probably super expensive and it's hard to get things. I'd like it rural, I think. And that's just because I'm a rural person. So Number 7, how does your bookstore look from the outside? Slick and modern, dark and brooding? I would think kind of in the middle. I'd want it to be inviting. I wouldn't want it to be look dilapidated, but I definitely don't want it to be all hard edges and modern either. I want it to look, you know, like a bookshop would look. You know, when you would ask a kid what a bookshop looks like, I think they would envision something that's a little in between modern and cozy. Number 8, what's your specialty? Used books, new or used, only fiction, only nonfiction, specialize in a specific genre? I think it's going to be a little bit of everything, especially now that I'm branching out to more authors, different genres. It's going to have a lot of everything. I definitely could see it being heavily based on fiction, you know, obviously is my main preference, but definitely nonfiction. I want to cater to people, and again, independently wealthy. I'm not worried about how fast they're flying off the shelf, you know. Number 9, what's the name of your bookstore? Probably Toll's Tales or Toll's Tombs, Tomes, something like that. Something catchy, I think would be my name. But yeah, and then it's tagging others, and I'll tag some people in description. This is a great one, Bob. Another good one. You've had 2 really good ones recently that I thought were really great. Thanks for the tag. I really enjoyed this. I really like book tags where you can just kind of talk, you know. I mean, it's not about just holding the book up. I really like these. More discussionary. Really cool one. Thanks again, Bob. Check out Bob's video in the description below, and hope you enjoyed this. This is Lake Shelbyville, where I live. I'm out on the trails, on the Orange Trail. Yeah, have a great day. I'll talk to you later.